Hello and welcome. You tune into Market Fatafat with me, Ankita Saxena. In the next half an hour, we will take you through all the buzzers in trade today, why they are buzzing on the back of news flow or on the back of technical charts. But first up, let's take stock of how the market is shaping up. Well, we started on a decent footing, but now the market has been, the trepidation can be felt in the market of those Trump tariff threat coming in. In fact, Nifty is trading with cuts of 1.5% right now. Ditto for Nifty Bank. Nifty Bank is also trading with cuts of 1.5%. Both one-way decline. There's no buying coming in since that high that we made today. After that, there was a one-way decline coming in. No buying that's happening on either Nifty Bank or Nifty. Broader markets also following suit. Nifty Midcap, in fact, is trading with cuts of almost 1.5%, and Nifty Midcap is down almost 1%, and Nifty Small Cap also trading with cuts of 0.7%. Both were down 0.5%, but there also the selling has intensified as of now. Let's look at the sectors then. Sectorally, Nifty Realty is really taking it on the chin today, trading with cuts of 3%. Nifty IT is reeling under a lot of pressure with cuts of 2%. Of course, Nifty IT has been reeling under selling pressure on the back of the global or the US economy concerns, and of course with the Trump tariffs kicking in, Nifty IT is also reeling under pressure of 2.5%. Some of the individual stock movers that are doing well in trade today is, of course, the stock of the day is Vodafone Idea and Indus Towers. Of course, the government has now decided to convert the outstanding spectrum auction dues into equity shares, and the government will increase their stake now to a good 49%, and the deal is worth 36,950 odd crores. On the back of that, Vodafone Idea was locked in upper circuit of 10%, and once the circuit opened, there was no stopping, and Vodafone Idea is sitting pretty with gains of almost 23% in today's trading session. Indus Tower also is doing very well because Vodafone Idea had owned those dues to Indus Towers, and now with this relief coming in, Indus Towers is also seeing gains of almost more than 5.5%. So Vodafone Idea, Indus Towers both doing very well. HAL on the back of a big order win is also doing pretty well. So these are some of the counters that are doing well, but let's get you some more counters, and for that my guest Osho Krishan, the senior analyst technical and derivative research, is joining us from Angel One, and on our research team we are joined by Ravinder. Hi, good afternoon to both of you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us, and let's get started with all the buzzers in trade today. Well, one of the stock that is was doing well in the morning at least was Ola Electric. That saw a gain of almost 2%, following the company's update on the auto sales numbers for the month of March and its efforts to clear a registration backlog. Now, the company has registered 23,430 units in the month of March, as recorded on the Vahan portal, indicating a solid demand across both urban and rural areas. However, this registration figure is lower than the 25,000 units reported in the month of February, and well below the company's internal target of 50,000 units, which the CEO Bhavesh Agarwal previously had outlined was necessary to break even at the EBITDA level. Additionally, the company has disclosed 3,44,000 units registered for FY25, holding a market share of 30% in the electric two-wheeler industry, thus maintaining its leadership position. And on the back of that, Ola Electric was up 2%, has succumbed to the market pressure, is currently trading at the day's lowest point right now, trading with cuts of 0.3%. But coming to you, Osho, you've picked out Fortis Hospital for us. Tell us, what are you seeing on the charts for this counter? Because if I look at the chart, today it's down 1.2% in the last, it's done decent in the last 6 months, especially amid the market volatility. It has given gains of almost 12%. Going further, what do you see on the charts for Fortis?
Very good afternoon, Ankita, and thank you for having me at the show. Well, looking at the overall technical setup of Fortis in this counter has been gaining very strong traction from the lows of nearly 600 that even coincides with the 200-day simple moving average. And on the technical front, there has been a breakout around the zone of 670. So on technical analysis front, there has been a triple bottom formation for the counter, and there has been a very strong breakout around the zone of 670. So I'm expecting that in the short-term period, there is a possibility of retesting the neckline that is of 670 kind of a zone. But from there onwards, it will be providing an opportunity to accumulate the counter for the targets of nearly 740 to 45 in the short-term perspective. And once we see a breakthrough beyond 745, then we can see a higher continuation towards the zone of 800 kind of a zone from short to medium-term time frame. So one should definitely look for this opportunity to accumulate this counter from short and even for medium-term time frame.
All right, that's Fortis Health on the charts, but flashing on bottom of your screen is the auto sales number for Ashok Leyland. The total sales stands at 24,060 units versus the ET Now poll of 22,650, which is a clear outperformance and beating market estimates. In the back of that, if you can pull up the charts of Ashok Leyland also, we're seeing a sharp spike up after those numbers have come in. We're seeing a spike up of almost 1.3% on the counter for Ashok Leyland. There, the sharp spike up coming in post the auto sales numbers that have beaten the street estimates. So that's Ashok Leyland on the charts. But moving on to the stock of the day, Vodafone Idea, that's in focus. Rabinder, take us through the details of what has happened with Vodafone Idea. That's trading with gains of almost 23%.
And yes, Vodafone Idea is in focus, where government to convert the outstanding spectrum auction dues, and the total amount to be converted into equity share is 36,950 crore. The company will issue 3,695 shares at rupees 10 each, and the government of India shareholding pattern in the company will increase from existing 22.6 to approx 49%. But the promoters will continue to have operational control of the company. There are also some brokerage note coming in on Vodafone Idea, where Nomura has maintained their buy rating, but they have cut the target price to rupees 10 as compared to 12. Nomura trims FY25 and 27 EBITDA by 4% on factoring modestly lower subscriber on revising base assumption, and they expect the pace of subscriber loss to moderate in FY26, and Vodafone Idea is to return modest subscriber growth in FY27. And also Motilal Oswal has maintained their sell rating on Vodafone Idea with target price of rupees 6.5. So back of this news, stock is up almost 23%.
All right, moving on, Osho, you picked out BPCL for us. Now, all the oil marketing companies are, in focus today, especially with the oil prices now hovering around, cooling off to $72 dollars a barrel, thereabouts. What are you seeing on the charts for BPCL? It's an oil marketing company. What do you see on the charts?
Front, there has been some interesting developments that has been seen in the daily chart of BPCL. Firstly, it has negated the formation of lower lows, and it has started gaining or making higher highs on the daily time frame chart. Plus, there has been a positive crossover of 20-day exponential moving average beyond the 50-day exponential moving average. So that's a very positive development on the technical front. And thirdly, the counter has tested the swing high that was seen around the zone of 280 kind of a zone. So from here onwards, there is a possibility for this counter to retest the zone of 300, 310 from a very short-term duration kind of a perspective. And if there will be any kind of surpassing beyond the zone of 305 on a decisive manner, then we can see a higher continuation in the momentum for the counter. So overall, technical perspective looks very promising, and one can look for buying opportunity in BPC.
All right, a buying opportunity as far as BPCL is concerned. But moving on to another stock that's looking pretty good today is RITES. It's received an order worth 310 crore rupees. The first order is an LOA from a railway siding at the Panchgram terminal, with the cost of order being 155 crore rupees. And the second order, they've received an LOA from the Oil India company, and the cost of the order is 157 crore rupees. On the back of these two order wins, a total of 310 crore rupees worth of order for RITES. It's trading with gains of almost 2.5% in trade today. But coming to you, Osho, you've picked out DMart for us. Tell us why this name. What do you see on the charts for this one? It's down almost 1.5% today. But given good moves in the last 1 month of almost 16% from here on, do you see the momentum continuing?
Definitely. If we have to talk about the technical perspective for Avenue Supermarket, then in the last 1 month, there has been very strong move from the zone of nearly 3,400 towards 4,100 levels as of now. But on the technical front and on a broader time frame, there has been a triple bottom kind of a formation for the counter. So there is a possibility of continuation in this counter. But looking at the recent gain, yes, there is some possibility of profit booking. But on the lower end, nearly 3,800 and 3,750 is a very strong support zone for the counter. So any dip towards the zone of 3,800 should be acting or should be cushioning the downfall in this counter. While on the higher end, a decisive move beyond the zone of 4,000, 4,100 can give a very strong boost for immediate target of 4,600, followed by 4,800 from medium term perspective.
All right, moving on from Avenue Supermarts on the charts to HAL. That's another counter that's doing pretty well in trade today. Rabinder, take us through the details of this.
Well, Hindustan Aeronautics is in focus, where Ministry of Defence has signed 2 contracts with Hindustan Aeronautics for supply of 156 light combat helicopters Prachand, along with training and other associated equipment with rupees 62,700 crore. And the first contract is for the supply of 66 light combat helicopter to Indian Air Force, and the second is for supply of 90 light combat helicopters to Indian Army. And HAL has recorded a revenue of 30,400 crore in FY25 as compared to 31,225 as compared to 30,381 as compared to previous financial year. And UBS has maintained their buy rating on HAL, but they have revised their target price to rupees 5,440 from 4,800. They say UBS say that they had revised Tejas execution estimate from 4 in FY26 to 7 and 14 in FY26 as compared to 6 earlier, driving upward revision in revenue and earning for FY26 and 27 3% respectively. They expect FY26 to be an inflection year for defense ordering, and recent acceleration in pace of decision making adds further comfort.
Alright, that's the news flow coming in. HAL, its biggest order win till date. But coming to you, Osho, then HDFC Life is what you've picked out for us. In fact, HDFC Life is doing quite decent in today's trading session. It was up almost 1% in trade today. Tell us, what are you seeing on the charts for this one? Good momentum to continue from here on?
See, overall, there has been a very strong rounding formation on the technical front for HDFC Life, but 700 provides a very strong resistance, which historically has also become a very strong hurdle for the counter. So I'm expecting that if in future there will be any kind of corrective move towards the zone of 660, that will be a very good opportunity to accumulate the counter. For those who are already holding the counter, should hold the counter from a medium-term perspective, because it is on the verge of giving a fresh breakout. On the higher end, 740, 730 is the immediate target that one can expect in this counter. So definitely a buy either on dip, or for someone who is already holding the position can trail their profits towards 650 as a stop loss, for 740 as a target.
Alright, with that, it's time for us to take a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll get you some more buzzers in trade. On the other side, stay tuned. Welcome back. You're tuned into Market Fatafat, where we are talking about all the stocks that are buzzing away in trade, either on the back of news flow or on the back of technicals. And we have Osho and Rabinder with us. Osho, coming back to you, then you picked out Ramco Cement for us. Tell us, what do you see on the charts for this particular counter?
See, overall, the cement space is looking very positive to me, and Ramco Cement technically have regained very strong strength from the zone of nearly 800 and has surged above all its short-term moving average, followed by 200-day simple moving average. So looking at the recent momentum in the counter, this counter seems to have a very strong momentum, and I am expecting that in the short-term duration, it can retest the zone of 930, and once it surpasses the zone of 930, then we can see a continued momentum in this counter. But for now, 880 and 940 is the immediate trading zone, with buy on dip and approximately sell on rise or trail your profits at elevated levels is advisable at these levels for Ramco Cement.
Alright, that's the word coming on Ramco Cement. But moving on to another counter that's in focus today, and that's GMR Airports. Now, the news flow here is that AERA has increased the existing aeronautical tariff by 148%. Now, Jefferies has come out with a note, and they're maintaining a buy on GMR Airports with a target price of 92 rupees, because they feel that the tariff order outcome improves the visibility on profitability, pegs the company's FY26 EBITDA to grow at 40% on a year-on-year basis, and the company is likely to turn profitable after many, many years. So on the back of the positive news flow coming in for GMR Airport, and then the positive brokerage note by Jefferies, GMR Airports is in focus today, trading with gains of 2.3%. But coming to you again, Osho, you've picked out Hindustan Zinc for us. Tell us, what do you see on the charts for Hindustan Zinc?
See, overall, Hindustan Zinc again have seen a very strong traction from the zone of nearly 390 in the recent period towards now hovering around 455 odd levels. But looking at the daily developments in this counter, then it is on the verge of giving an inverted head and shoulder pattern on the daily chart. And overall, there has been some positive crossover between the short-term moving average. So I'm expecting that in the coming period, there is a strong possibility for this counter to gain traction from here onwards. And on the higher end, I am expecting a target of nearly 490 to 500 on a very short-term perspective. And if it breaches the zone of 500, then we can see some further continuation towards 545 to 550 in the short-term period. while on the lower end, the support is placed very nearby near the zone of 435. So very good trade setup for Hindustan Zinc on the daily time frame chart.
All right, so that's the word on Hindustan Zinc. But moving on to another counter that's in focus today, and that's ITC and AB Real Estate. Tell us, Rabinder, what's the news flow here?
Well, ITC and Aditya Birla Real Estate both stock in focus, where ITC is set to acquire AB Real Estate paper business for 3498 crore, and business is operated by AB Realty at present under Century Pulp and Paper name. And the acquisition is in line with the company's strategy to drive the next phase of growth in its paper board and specialty papers business by expanding capacity at new location. And the transaction is completed within 6 months. And the key expect for the acquisition for ITC is they expect the EPS accretive for its full year of operation and drive structural improvement in ITC paper business profitability. Company is targeting 30 to 40% increase in EBITDA per ton post 2 full years of operation, and they expect high teens ROE on investment in the medium term. MK has also come out with a note on Aditya Birla Real Estate, and they said that the EBITDA per ton at 2.6 in Q3 FY25 was among the lowest in 6 to 7 years, and the sale proceed will mainly fund real estate growth of the company and debt reduction likely. So, but both the stocks are trading negatively.
All right, on the back of that, ITC and AB Real Estate are in focus today on the back of that acquisition. But Osho, you have figured out Max Financial for us, and this one has given some good returns in the last 1 month. It's given out 16% return in this market. Tell us from here on, does the positive momentum continue, or do you see that cooling off now?
See, there has been a V-shaped recovery in this counter from the month of February. By the March month end, there has been a very strong traction in this counter. There has been a proper V-shaped recovery, but on the higher end, near the zone of 1150, 1170 is a kind of resistance zone. So until we breach the zone of 1170 on a closing basis, there is some kind of caution that should be maintained in this counter, and one should definitely trail their profits in this counter. So overall technical setup looks robust, and I'm expecting that in the coming period there is a higher possibility of breakout beyond the zone of 1170, and from there onwards we can see approximately 1230, 1240 as a target for the short term perspective. While on the lower end, the support is placed near about the zone of 1100. So overall the trading zone is near about 1120 to 1170 in a very short term perspective, and any breakout beyond 1170 can boost the counter towards 1230, 1240 kind of a zone from a short term perspective.
All right, that's Max Financial Services on the charts. But moving on to the next counter, which is Railtel Corporation of India, that the shares of which advanced almost 2% in morning trade today after the company announced that it has secured an order worth almost around 163 crore rupees from Ircon International. Now, under the terms of this order, Railtel will work towards integrated tunnel communication, including railway general telecommunication arrangement in Sivok, in the Rangpur new BG rail line project of Northeast Frontier Railway. On the back of this order win, Railtel is in focus today. In fact, it has given up all those morning gains, is currently trading with cuts of it. In fact, it's turned absolutely flat, trading in the red with minor cuts of 0.1%. But coming to you, Osho, then Sumitomo Chemicals, tell us what do you see on the charts for this one?
There have been positive developments on the technical front for this counter. Firstly, there has been a double bottom formation breakout, which has seen approximately around the zone of 540 on the daily time frame chart, and also that has been followed by a flat pattern breakout. So overall the counter seems very positive, but kind of a scenario that we are into there, if there will be any continued sell-off or profit booking that can be seen in this counter, then near about 540 to 530 is a very strong support zone. So one should definitely try to accumulate around the zone of 540 to 530, while on the higher end 580, which is today's high, is the first target for the counter, and any breakout beyond the zone of 580 can provide some further thrust towards the zone of 620 in the coming period. So overall the momentum is very positive, and technical setup also looks robust for the counter.
All right, with that, we have come to an end of this show. Osho and Rabinder, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Market Fatafat. I'll take your leave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere, because the market action continues on ET Now.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.